Hey guys, First Bell Comic Book University and Secret Empire Brave New World, issue number 3 of 5. Okay, so the first story is actually a really cool story. It's actually about the Daily Bugle. Now, since we don't have a front line here like we had back in the original Civil War, we didn't have that for Civil War II or anything like that, what we have here is the Daily Bugle. Robbie Robertson is trying to run the newspapers. Like, cable's out, internet's out, TV's out, everything's out. The only thing that we have is paper. Now, we don't know how long we've got until the power generators go out, but while they're operating, what we're going to do is we're going to try and put out some newspapers because people have to know what's going on. Okay, so perfect, beautiful, and genuinely, I love that. I absolutely love that kind of dedication that journalists have. Well, at least back in the day and in the comic books. Anyway, so Kraven the Hunter comes in and he's getting ready to kick a little booty. And he wants to know exactly who Spider-Man is so he can find out his loved ones and all that good stuff because Spider-Man's from around here. So in the process of doing that, he's like, where's J. Jonah Jameson? So J. Jonah Jameson's little niece or whatever runs off to go and find him, gets mixed up with Spider-Woman in the interim. Spider-Woman knocks the hell, like, I want to see teeth out of this guy, Like, there are monsters in the streets and you're trying to rob somebody for a freaking camera. A camera? Seriously? So, yeah, scum of the earth needs to be destroyed. He doesn't need teeth. Anyway, so she goes and she, warns Jonah, but turns out that Kraven followed her and boom, Spider-Woman shows up. And it was kind of cool the way that it worked out. You kind of expected it. But to see it actually come to fruition was actually really cool. Anyway, the resolution to this was actually a really fun one. J. Jonah actually goes back to the Daily Bugle just for the day or whatever to file his notes and the data that he has. So the datum, the one little thing that he found out, that this is actually a global conspiracy. Very, very cool. The next story is actually about Starbrand, and this one's very near and dear to my heart because I'm actually one of those goofs who, back in the Jim Shooter days, I loved the New Universe. Yeah, I know, whatever. I love the New Universe, specifically Starbrand and DP7. Those were my two absolute favorites. I loved those comic books. They were great. So the Starbrand goes out, and he's trying to find a weak point in the entire Earth Defense Shield, but he can't seem to find one, and it's a very short story where it's just basically he's alone. He's not just alone in the world, but like there's a little bit of a paradigm that you see that he's alone in space also. He's just alone, and it's kind of sad. He curls up in a fetal position at the end. I'm not going to complain about this story at all. And then we move over to the final story, which is part 3 of 5. I'm sure there's going to go to 5 full issues, where Namor has a little bit of a treason thing going on. Namora, she goes and she's like, okay, I'm going to release the weapon. I'm going to do it, which is actually this big, gigantic beast that is terrifying to everybody, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. Plus, Namor takes care of these beasts all the time. I don't know what this was actually supposed to be. It was really just a really weak MacGuffin that was supposed to lead us to see that she committed treason, and that her long game seems to have been that she says, since I committed treason, I am a queen of the underseas of Atlantis, and I'm not going to rot in some prison trench. So rather, I want to be publicly executed. And Namor's like, are you sure? She's like, yes. So, okay, so be it. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Guys, I'm going to give this comic a B+, and it's like on the very hairy edge of A-verse, because this was a really fun one. I love that they're doing the Namor theme. Obviously at the end, or at least I'm presuming at the end, that Atlantis is going to wind up declaring war against the surface, specifically Hydra Cap and all that good stuff. I'm really hoping to see that at some point. And wouldn't it actually be cool, be honest with me, wouldn't it be cool if Wakanda and Atlantis wind up joining forces, especially after what transpired in the Phoenix saga, the X-Men versus Avengers that had happened? How sweet would that be if they actually found common ground in killing Hydra Cap and joined forces? New TN can jump in too. Why not? Anyway, guys, just want to point out, my buddy Doug, this was actually the first story was actually really cool, near and dear to my heart, because when I write articles for Nerdicky over on YouTube and nerdicky.com, I deal with my buddy Doug, who is the assistant editor of the news articles, and every Monday I put in an article. So every Sunday he sends me a picture of J. Jonah Jameson saying, hey, don't be late with your article. So I love how he does that. Anyway, guys, don't forget to check out that article every Monday. Nerdicky.com. Look for me. You'll find me there. William C. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.